So I have an Onan 8000 QD. It's in this '08 Winnebago Tour. And I'm having issues with the generator. Researched like hell on Google. And you know, that's a rabbit hole. It just sends you everywhere. And I've been chasing this thing for the last 3 days. I think the generator had worked when I got it. I just bought this thing. And I may have driven it, lower than a quarter tank before I hit my road trip, and then the Jenny didn't start. And then later on, when I got home and researched Google, I find out that, yeah, these things can develop air bubbles in the lines if you run below a quarter tank-ish. So, one of the Google hits says air's in a line. Go ahead and go ahead and give me procedures on how to purge it. So, climb under here and talk to you and show you what they were saying. He said, go ahead and disconnect the hose, fuel line coming out of the pump, which is there on the left. Disconnect that, and then go to the inlet on your gas fill. Put an air hose in it, wrap a towel around it, and pressurize it. Idea being to force fuel up into the system. Did that. Primed the engine while I had a hose attached to that outlet that I just showed you into a jar. Got fuel. So, maybe not air. Fuel pump? Well, fuel pump on this thing is accessible like right here. There's 2 bolts underneath this bracket that hold it in. Well, this bracket is welded in. The only way to access those things is to unbolt the 4 corners of this Jenny and slide it. I don't want to do that. Not yet. So, let's do a fuel filter. See if we get lucky. Since I just got this thing, I have no idea when it was put in. It'd been nice if they put the hours on there, the Jenny, when they did so, and the date. I'll do so with the replacement I put in. So that's what I'm going to tackle, and hopefully, cross my fingers, hopefully it works. So, before I get to it, this thing is parked about a half hour away from where I live, so got the new one. And I need to know what tools to use on it to pack. So that one's a 9/16. Whoops, that one is 11/16. The wrench is under the rig. I'm not going to grab it right now. And then when I get up under there, I'll figure out what size for the hose lines. Swap this booger out and see if I get lucky. Get back to you. Okay, so this fitting on the left, or upper left I should say, that's 7/16. And the other one right there is a 5/8. That way if you got to do this, you know which tools before you got to climb under the booger. Alright, let's get back at this. I forgot to mention that one in the middle that mounts to the mountain bracket, that's a 1/2 inch. Alright, well, we got that in. That only took like probably 5 minutes to remove the lines, put the new filter in, and put the lines back in. So we're going to try to prime this thing and probably take a few cycles. We'll see. So what you want to do, this is where you prime it with. Some say do it for 10 seconds, then off 10 seconds, then on, etc. for 3 times. They also say to turn that off. That's your AC. So I'll do that. I'll keep doing that and I'll let you know how long it takes. Okay, well, that didn't work. I must have primed that sucker, 10 seconds and then off 10 seconds. Repeat 3 times. I must have done that like 30 times. In between the 3 time intervals, tried starting it. Tried to crank, but sure is acting like it ain't getting any fuel. So I'm going to do what I did before I went with this fuel filter idea. And now I'm going to see if the fuel pump's kicking out. So what I got is that outlet I showed you before. That hose outlet, which comes from the pump. It's early in the picture I showed you on the left. Early in the video. Anyways, I disconnected it and hooked up a hose and stuck it in a jar, and now I'm going to prime this thing and see if any fuel comes out. Okay, well, the first time I tried, based on a Google suggestion about purging the lines of air, as I mentioned before, was to grab your air hose, stick it in the tank, the filler, not all the way in. Wrap it with some rags, hold them in there with your hands. And then, squirt some air in there, build up the pressure. You'll feel the pressure escape when you remove the rag. Then come and prime it 3 times, 10-second intervals. I tried, of course, trying to crank it, but absolutely nothing came out of that. Move it over here. First time it did, a couple days ago, after I used the air hose trick and primed it, but maybe that was just a glitch or whatever. Fuel pump spurting out a little, whatever it had in it. So looks like I'll order a hair hose. I mean, I already got one of those. Order a fuel pump, the other thing that pumps, and I'll round to it. Got to order one of those because someday I'll get around to it.